Welcome to the chapter 1 Science Behind the Time Management. It's one of the most powerful techniques you are going to learn today. The first thing is I want to say what are the positives and negatives of time management. So if you think time management is very easy, so lots of people will think that time management is very easy, we can manage our time. But if that is so easy, lots of people would have been successful, lots of people would have been reached to the top positions, lots of people would have been got more money, would have been earned more money. So there is something behind it. It is not an easy way, it is something complicated way where you have to learn the techniques how to manage your time. So I'm going to take you the journey behind the time management, where you are going to learn it. See, our human brain is filled up with lots of stuff. So for example, our thoughts, our feelings, lots of different patterns where we have to manage those things. So for example, if you are having some particular thought, the thought process will take on going, it will go on in your brain, whereas those thoughts will become an action. Those actions will become an habits to you. Those habits will bring a results for you. So there is something behind the time management. You have to change the pattern, you have to change the thought system of your brain. Whereas if you change the thought system, see, once if you change the thought system, everything will change. The action will change, the habits will change, the results will change. This is very important in time management. So you are going to learn how to manage your mind. As I said, effective planning. Managing our mind is nothing but managing our thoughts, etc. Effective planning is how to plan our to-do list, or how to plan our schedule in a proper way. Many people they plan effectively, but they fail in their action. Many people they plan very great ideas, but they fail in bringing into the action. And the scientific methods how to manage your time. So now we are going to learn why we are unable to manage our time. So there are biggest mistakes where many people will do in the time management. The first is resolutions. See, I am having a resolution. What is resolution? So we make a commitments, we make a goals, we make a commitments of some particular task. So for example, there is a new year. So what we do on the new year, before the new year, on 31st January, 31st December, what we do? We try to write a resolutions for our new year, or whenever some occasions are there or birthdays are there. No, from today I am going to change my habits. From today I am going to concentrate on my goals. So what happens? These resolutions, whatever the resolutions you are going to set, those resolutions are sometimes demotivating you. Suppose these resolutions, you set the resolutions and you continue for 1 or 2 months or 1 or 2 weeks, and you drop off from there. This is the biggest mistake what people will do. And ultimately, if you drop from those resolutions, you will degrade yourself, you will demotivate yourself, you won't get a positivity from your life. So these resolutions should be clearly, it should be achievable. Next biggest mistake in time management is consistency. Many people, they do very effective work, they concentrate very well, they get good results. But what happens after achieving 1 or 2 goals or tasks? They will lose the consistency. When there is no consistency, there won't be a huge success. The very important for a time management is consistency. If you are doing some particular task, keep it a consistency. Keep on doing it. Though it is a good, or though you are getting a good results or bad results, keep on doing it. You will become a master of it. So imagine one day you wake up from your bed. You are going to be a master of time management. You are going to be after learning these techniques. So willpower, you are having an excellent techniques how to manage a willpower. You are going to learn in this chapter now. And pressured by the time, sometimes we make a to-do list and we are unable to achieve those lists, those tasks. Ultimately what happens, we get into the pressure. I am giving some bulk of tasks to do, but ultimately the time the deadline comes near to it. So what happens, our mentally we get pressurized. So whereas by thinking I am unable to do it, I am unable to achieve it, ultimately what happens, these are the biggest mistakes. You get pressurized by yourself. By pressurizing, you will lose your willpower. By losing willpower, you lose your consistency. By losing your consistency, you lose your resolutions, your task, your mind. So these are the techniques we have to learn in the time management. How do you accept to plan effectively when the concept of planning is not impressive? This is what I am trying to say you. Alan Lekin has said that failing to plan is planning to fail. So obviously, if you are not having a clear idea of what you are going to plan, like if you are not having a planning, ultimately you are going to fail. So failing to plan is planning to fail. So if suppose example, you started your new lesson to read. So if you are not having a clarity what to read, if you are failing what to do, ultimately you are planning to fail it. If the scientific method of planning is something different, what I said, so how the people are going to react to this? So now you are going to learn what are the techniques you have to implement to increase your productivity, manage your time effectively. As I said, failing to plan is planning to fail. So this is very important. If you couldn't plan properly, how you are going to achieve your task, to-do list. So these are the very important. Some of the areas we are having, like, does it ring a bell? Early morning you are waking up with a to-do list task, and you are starting a day. If the alarm has been rang, and you are not waking up with the excitement, if you are not having a total motivation, like if you are not having a proper way of planning, ultimately you are going to fail it. And many people they think that as I said, to-do list is nothing but a time management. I am having the so and so tasks, so I have to complete it. So that is not a time management. So lots of people do that thing. So by doing this, what happens? New Year resolutions will be going waste, or the New Year resolutions goes waste. Your goals you won't achieve very soon, and working long hours without getting a good results. You work long hours without having a proper time management. You work long hours, but you won't get a results, and feeling there are not enough hours for you to work. We are having 24 hours, right? Sometimes you feel, if you are not having a proper time management, you feel that you work long hours without any results, and feeling pressured by time. Ultimately, if you are working long hours and you won't get a good results, you feel pressured by the time. So next, you are going to learn how to overcome all these things. It doesn't matter how motivated you are, your willpower be getting drained, and before knowing you will get back into the time management problems. These are the main things. Like suppose example, you see lots of motivated videos. Ultimately, what happens? Unless you see those motivational videos, you will be active, you will be very motivated. Ultimately, what happens after some time? You will be doing your regular task. Lots of motivational videos you have been seen. Still, you are unable to do what you want. It's nothing but you are lacking in the time management. See, to do anything, you need willpower. Willpower is nothing but a bulk of energy which is generated in our body. Like you know what is prefrontal cortex? Exactly behind the forehead, right? This is a part of brain where we use to make decisions. It's very important for a human being to manage this prefrontal cortex and use it in an effective way. Whereas you are going to increase your willpower. Willpower is nothing but every day a human being get a bulk of energy, bulk of energy where they put into the different types of task. If you are having everyone is having a willpower. If you're not using it in a proper way, ultimately what happens? You're draining your willpower. You're wasting your willpower. So how to use it? See, our willpower is just like a battery. You know, by a battery, what happens in our mobile phone? We charge it up to 100%. It works one day, or it may work 2 days, or it may work for. So willpower is nothing but a prefrontal cortex. You have to make your decisions properly, and willpower is a bulk of energy where we get in a particular day. So it is nothing but like a battery. So for example, you are having a mobile phone and you are charging it up to 100%, and that is nothing but a 100% willpower. So how to use that willpower? If you want, if you can, You can use willpower, you can use your mobile phone when you are having an important task, and you have to use the mobile in that particular time only. If you use in this category, your mobile will be more effective and more efficient, more it works for more days. So same as a human being. Suppose example, if you are watching videos continuously for 5 hours, ultimately total battery will get drained. Same way, willpower is nothing but a human being has getting an energy in a day, totally physically, emotionally, mentally. This type of energy we have to put in a particular place. If you are putting in a wrong place, ultimately willpower get drained. How to use our willpower? Suppose example, if you are having a 10 task in a day, so you have to sort out which is most important task. So put lots of energy there, whereas your energy will be more, your concentration will be more, your attention will be more, your concentration will be more. You have to put it there, and you have to work more for that particular important work. Ultimately what happens, you are using your willpower in a proper way. Is it limited? Do we get limited? Yes. So research shows that resisting and repeated temptations takes a mental ill. Repeated temptations, if you are having a positive temptations in a day, it grows our positivity, it grows our productivity, it grows our motivational inner guts. If you are using your willpower in a wrong way, it drains. So every activity what we do in our day, it includes willpower. So concentrate on your willpower, what activity you are doing, what the results you are getting in that activity, and how you are going to make your decision making. If you are doing some particular activity, what the end results you are going to get. Is that activity is important or not for me? Is that activity brings a good results for me in the life or not? So this all you can say. So I'm not saying like willpower is everything to manage the time. So time, as I said, scientifically proven that willpower is very important to manage our time effectively. And I'm once again not saying that willpower is everything. There is lots of things behind our attention, what type of attention span we are getting. If we are doing some particular work, how is our attention, and prioritization, in which works you are making it important, and how you are using that willpower in that particular task. If you are using willpower in the unwanted task which is not important for your life, ultimately what happens, you are using your willpower there, and you are not making prioritization of your task. Every task whatever you do, you make an importance, you make a list and importance, like give a ranking. This is my first most priority in my life, where I have to do this task today, and this is having an important than other task. So what happens, you are putting your willpower there, you are putting your attention, you are putting everything there. Ultimately what happens, you increase your productivity, you increase your time management. Instead of doing in 3 hours, you do in 1 hour. I make assurance, you try to use this willpower in a proper way, try to make a list of prioritization, you are going to get results in 2 or 3 days. Next, time management is not like using willpower in a proper way, but while using willpower, we have to concentrate on our distractions also, and the noise and skills. If I am prioritizing some particular task, if I am not using my skills totally, ultimately what happens, we are going to lose it. See, the bulk of things, when we gather together, we manage the time effectively. And pressure, how to use our pressure in a positive way, and power, action, what are the actions you are taking. Multitasking, when you are prioritizing, when you are using your task, whenever you are implementing the task, whenever you are managing the time, don't do multitasking. Suppose example, I can say multitasking will lead to the failure. While you are driving a car, if you watch a phone, what happens, you are doing 2 tasks. You are driving a car and you are watching the phone or some messages or call you got. Ultimately what happens, it leads to the accident. Simple example, multitasking leads to the failure. Many people fail because they repeatedly change their prioritization, they repeatedly change their importance, and they do multitasking. And nutrition is very important, how to maintain our body. As I said, willpower is nothing but the bulk of energy where we get physically, mentally. If we are not having a physical body fit, so how we are going to get a willpower, how we are going to get a energy? Then nutrition is very important. Habits, what are the habits you are using? introspection. You have to do analysis of yourself, analyzing yourself. Either I'm using the willpower in a proper way or not. Analyze it yourself. You will get it once you concentrate on what task you are doing, how much energy you are putting. You will get it ultimately. And amygdala is something different, like a depth topic where you get soon. How to use the amygdala. Like amygdala is one part of the brain where it controls the emotional parts of the brain. You have to control your emotions to manage your time also. See, each and every part is very important in managing the time. As I said, if you use this every technique properly, you are going to get results in 2 days. You are going to get and manage your time effectively. And let's go to the chapter 2.